Sarah is 35 years old. She is a beautiful woman with long blonde hair. Her face is calm, but her eyes show deep and strong love. She lives in a small and quiet town. Every morning she wakes up early, makes a cup of tea, and goes to the hospital. She does not go as a doctor or a nurse. She goes as something more important. She goes as a woman in love. She goes because of David. David is 40 years old. He does not move. He does not speak. He lies on the hospital bed, silent and still, with his eyes closed. He is there every day. His body is weak and has no energy. He is in a coma. He has been in a coma for 5 years. This quiet David was not always like this. Before, he was strong and active. He had an exciting life and a happy spirit. He was kind, always smiling and full of joy. 5 years ago, Sarah and David were living the best days of their lives. They were engaged and were preparing for their wedding. Everything was ready in the most beautiful way. The wedding dress, the flowers, the music, the cake. Only a few days were left until the big day. Sarah was very happy. She felt like she was living in a dream. But suddenly the dream broke. One rainy night, David was driving home. The road was wet and dark. A car came from the opposite side. The driver lost control and hit David's car very hard. A few hours later, the phone rang. Sarah was waiting for David's call and answered happily. But a voice said, "Your fiancé is in the hospital. He had an accident." Her hands started to shake. She felt like her heart stopped for a moment. Sarah ran to the hospital crying and afraid. The doctors said, "David had a bad accident, but he is alive. His body is hurt and he lost his consciousness. He is in a coma. We don't know when or even if he will wake up." Sarah could not believe it. Just a few hours ago, they were laughing and choosing wedding music. Now everything was silent. Everything turned dark. But Sarah made a decision. She said, "I will wait." She sat beside his bed. She held his hand. His hand was cold. She held it between her warm hands. Tears fell from her eyes. She whispered softly, "David, I am here. I will not leave. Do you hear me? I will never leave you." Many people did not understand her. Some friends said, "Sarah, you are still young. You must continue your life." Some family members said, "This is too hard. You cannot wait forever." But Sarah did not listen to them. She smiled softly and said, "Love is not only for happy days. Love is also for hard days. Love does not run away. Love stays." And she stayed. Every day, for 5 years. Every morning she woke up, she got ready, she dressed beautifully, because she believed one day David would open his eyes. and when he did, she wanted to look beautiful for him. She brushed her blonde hair. She used a soft perfume. Then she went to the hospital. When she entered the room, she always said with a happy voice, "Good morning, my love. The sun is shining today. It's a good day to wake up." She opened the curtains and let the light in. She changed the flowers beside his bed. She talked to him like he could hear. Maybe he could, maybe not. She did not know, but she believed. She believed that deep inside his soul could hear her voice. She told him stories. She read poems. Sometimes she sang softly and touched his hair. His hair grew long, so she cut it carefully. His beard grew, so she shaved it gently. Sarah was not a nurse, but she learned everything. She learned how to clean him, how to move him. She talked with doctors, asked questions, stayed late. She did everything with love. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. Months became years. 5 full years of waiting. 5 years of unanswered love. Most nights when she came home, she was tired. Sometimes she cried quietly on her pillow. She whispered, "Will he ever open his eyes again? Am I crazy for waiting so long?" But then she remembered his smile, his laughter, how he held her hands, how he said, "Sarah, I will always love you." She closed her eyes and answered, "I will always love you too." One morning, everything changed. It was a calm and bright day. The sun was shining through the hospital window. Sarah entered the room as always. She put down her bag. She smiled and said, "Good morning, my love. Today I brought white lilies for you. They smell so nice. Can you feel them?" She sat beside the bed. She held his hand. She started to read a love poem. Her voice was soft. "In the morning light, I wait for you. In the silent night, I wait for you. My heart is strong. My love is true. No matter how long, I wait for you." Suddenly, she felt something. A small movement, very small. She stopped reading. Her eyes opened wide. She looked at his hand. She felt it again. A little squeeze. Her heart started beating fast. She whispered, "David, are you there?" She looked at his face. His eyelids moved. They moved again. Slowly, with difficulty, they opened. His eyes, the same familiar eyes, looked around weakly. They were confused. They were closed for 5 years. Then they saw her, Sarah. She was sitting beside him. Tears were falling, but she was smiling. She was shaking from happiness. David looked at her. His voice was weak, but he said, "Sarah?" Sarah laughed and cried at the same time. She held her face in her hands and said, "Yes, my love. It's me, Sarah. I'm here. I never left. I waited for you." Tears came from David's eyes. His lips moved softly. "You waited?" Sarah nodded. "Yes, always, every day. I promised I would stay, and I stayed." David tried to lift his hand. It was hard. He was weak, but he tried. Sarah helped him. She took his hand and put it on her cheek. He smiled. "You are still beautiful." Sarah laughed with tears. "And you are still handsome, even after 5 years of sleeping." They both cried, but now they cried from happiness. A few weeks passed. David became stronger little by little. He learned to walk again. Sarah was always beside him, helping him. Sometimes David felt sad and said, "You lost 5 years of your life because of me." But Sarah answered quickly, "No, I lived 5 years with you. Maybe you could not speak or move, but I was with you. These 5 years are proof of our love." David looked at her with respect. He said, "Then I will spend the rest of my life giving that love back to you." One sunny day, David and Sarah were sitting in a small cafe, planning the future they waited for so long. David held Sarah's hand and said, "Sarah, can we continue our wedding?" Sarah smiled. "Of course. I still have my wedding dress." David smiled. "And I still have my promise." They planned their wedding again. This time it was even more beautiful. They did not need a big party. Only the people who truly supported them came. The doctors, the nurses, some friends. Sarah wore a white dress. David wore a black suit. They stood in front of everyone. The sun was shining on them. David said, "I slept for 5 years, but I saw you in my dreams every moment. Now I am awake, and I will never leave you again." Sarah answered with tears and a smile, "I am the happiest when I am beside you." They exchanged rings. They kissed. People clapped. Some cried, some laughed. But the most beautiful part was not the kiss. It was their look, a look full of memories, full of patience, full of promise, a look that said, "Love is not about time. Love is about faith." Today, Sarah and David live together in a small house. In the mornings, they walk in the garden. In the evenings, they sit together and talk about the past, the future, and the miracle that brought them together again. Sometimes David wakes up early and looks at Sarah. He thinks, "This woman is my angel. When I could not take care of myself, she kept my life. When I could not give love, she gave love. When everyone left, she stayed." And when Sarah wakes up, she always smiles first. She touches his face and says, "Good morning, my love." They both smile. because now time is not important. They have each other, and that is everything.